What exactly are you supposed to do when the enemy Killjoy stalls you out from planting? And when you do plant, how should you be defending the retake? How you going today, guys? My name is Kilk, and today I want to break down the game of Fun Crew vs Built for Greatness on Icebox at the ESL Clash of Nations in Oceania. I'll be dissecting how BFG blew an 11-3 lead on the attacking side, what I believe they could have done, and takeaways you can implement into your games, including playing to your win conditions. So without further ado, let's get into it. I want to start off by talking about the game in general. BFG were up 9-3 going into their attacking half, and after winning the pistol and the anti-eco, though not without huge losses, it looked all but ready to go to map 3. However, Fun Crew had other plans. They rallied up and won the next 10 rounds on the trot, winning the should have been lost map 13-11 and taking out the series. A massive part of this win was due to their ability to stall out BFG's plants and executes. Killjoy had nanoswarms on the default plant spots every single round, and when the enemy Killjoy had a lockdown available, they really started to prioritize placing nanoswarms on A. Take a look at the positions of the Fun Crew members at the time of plant on A. They would more often than not leave the site almost completely open and leave heavily towards playing for retake, giving it up and making sure no one died, so they can retake or crunch before the spike even went down due to the amount of time the nanoswarms were providing, which as a result made for an extremely easy retake, if not completely denied the spike plant. Another issue was BFG's lack of mid presence, especially on the after plants, which further added to the power of Fun Crew's stall. If we take a look at their positions in the post plant on A, they don't really take a lot of space up mid or towards screens and rafters. In fact, they only ever got kills, and not many, on site as the retake was happening. Compare this to arguably the kings of Icebox, Fnatic, in their game versus DRX at Champions. They had a lot more presence towards mid and up front near screens and rafters. This then staggers the retake, making it so players are unable to push rafters and screens at the same time, as well as covering off the flank for your team. Now let's chat win conditions. When the spike goes down, your two win conditions are pretty simple: eliminations and the spike detonation, so playing time. Knowing when to play for each will drastically increase your rate of post-plant success. If you've planted the spike and instantly fall off to play for lineups, you're literally throwing, because the defenders will be able to clear space and retake super fast. You won't be there to trade your team, so even when your lineups land, they'll still have sufficient time to defuse. Conversely, if you've managed to stall out half the time and you have your Hunter's Fury available or nanos on the spike, then fall back and play for lineups. Securing the round there is more important than trading and dying. Let's take a look at two examples from BFG. On round 16, after getting the first blood and pulling Fun Crew over towards B, BFG get a free site and plant Nest, and instantly two members fall off to play for lineups, leaving the Sage by themselves, who then just gets traded for free. Meanwhile, Jett lurks up mid but whiffs and reveals his position. If you want to play time, staying alive and staying hidden is instrumental to the win condition, as it forces the defenders to have to be aware you're missing. If not, you're gonna get 2 to 3 for your efforts. Even after the whiff, just surviving would burn resources to have to clear him or have players watch behind. All these things that delay the retake. The Sage Wall should have been placed behind the spike for further delay, rather than being used to section off a site that you're just gonna give up anyway. It also cuts off your own ability to move around and play ratty. As played, Fun Crew retake the site relatively quickly, and because BFG weren't in positions to trade off their team, Fun Crew have player advantage and are able to push the remaining two members of BFG trying to play for lineups, and they defuse the spike with plenty of time left on the clock. And on round 21, BFG get a free plant down on A under the Viper's pit. They have Killjoy nanos on the spike and a Hunter's Fury available. Unfortunately, Jett pushes rafters by himself and dies, making it now a 3v4. By the time Fun Crew get in position and commit the lockdown, which Sova invests their Hunter's Fury to instantly break, a lot of time has already been burnt off the spike. Not only that, but they could and probably would have burnt up to another 8 seconds as Fun Crew would have waited for the lockdown to get close to popping before beginning the retake. Falling off here to play time is arguably better, especially when you have inferior weaponry. Just sacrifice the Viper, but first have them delay further with Snakebites before getting detained. They could possibly let Killjoy wrap through mid for a flank, and Sova can ult from below belt, contesting whatever time was left. As played, the Hunter Fury comes out, which prompts Fun Crew to begin the retake early. They outgun BFG and manage to defuse the spike with only 3 seconds left on the clock. So what could BFG have done? In my opinion, you don't have to plant default every round, and if you notice that it's always got nanos on the default plant site, chuck a shock dart there early to try and break them. Not only that, but you can utilize the Sage Wall to allow you to plant in favorable positions, such as Nest or even in between Gen and 410. You just need to be wary of the counter Sage Wall. Having a quick plant puts them on the clock, and often they won't be ready to retake for a good portion of time, which could lead to unforced errors by the enemies such as pushing or peeking alone. But also, this allows the lurk to be more effective, as they'll have less time to clear out ratty spots. This brings in your chance to get sneaky kills, and the defenders will have to deal with you, which then burns time, and that brings in lineups as part of your win condition. Secondly, they should try and take space up mid a bit more if possible, or at least try and control more of screens and rafters. If the defenders can just put up their toxic screen, flood in barely contested, and take control of backside, then it's very difficult to hold as an attacker when so much space has been given up. And third, playing for your win condition. Falling back to play lineups as soon as the spike goes down is just a bad idea, and the defenders are able to re-clear space within seconds and still defuse a spike post lineup. Conversely, sticking around when half the time is gone when you have Hunter's Fury and Killjoy Nanos on the spike isn't the best idea either. Being fluid, knowing and communicating when to switch will help you win a lot more rounds and a lot more games. Alright guys, that's all I have for you today. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and if you'd like to see more content like this, please consider subscribing. It would mean the world to me. Until next time, see ya!